You ever watch someone you love break and realize the sound of it is quieter than you thought? Not shattering glass, not screaming, just silence. My daughter didn't wail that night. She didn't even sob. She just stood there, staring at the cake she'd spent 3 days creating, and let her face fold in on itself like a paper burning from the inside. That was the moment I understood. Heartbreak doesn't always sound loud. Sometimes it's the absence of sound that destroys you. For 3 days, my 17-year-old daughter, Lila, turned our kitchen into something between a battleground and a cathedral. She wasn't just cooking, she was building an offering. 23 name cards, menus printed in delicate fonts, bouquets she'd paid for herself. Every corner smelled of thyme and butter and sugar, and she worked until her hands shook. At one point, I walked in at 2 a.m. to find her remaking a tart she'd burned. She just smiled, flour dusted on her cheeks, and whispered, "It has to be perfect, Mom. This is for Grandma." She believed she was cooking her way into love. And maybe I believed it too. And then the text came. A group chat message, casual, sharp as a knife. Change of plans. We're at a restaurant. Adults only. No punctuation. No apology. Just that. I remember staring at my phone so long I forgot to breathe. My daughter was still humming, still plating sugar-free desserts for a diabetic neighbor who wouldn't even be there. My hands were shaking so badly, I stepped into the hallway like someone escaping a crime scene. I called my father. He answered, cheerful. "Oh, you got the message? You're not coming?" My voice was ice. No, it's easier this way. Already seated. Menu looks great." I reminded him. Lila's been cooking for 3 days. She made enough food for everyone. She hasn't slept. A pause. Then, well, tell her not to take it personally. She can freeze the leftovers. That's the moment something inside me split. I called my mother next. She answered with a sigh. "Honey, don't start. It's safer this way. You can't serve that many people food made by a teenager. It's sweet, but it's not real cooking." Not real cooking. That phrase rattled in my bones like glass in a blender. By the time I called my sister, my hands were numb. I was still clinging to this insane hope she hadn't known. But she did. She laughed. "Don't guilt us. Lila's dramatic. She needs to learn not everything is about her." None of us wanted to be her test subjects. Test subjects. Like my daughter was a lab rat. I hung up. And when I turned, Lila was looking at me. She'd seen the photos. The restaurant table, glasses raised, my parents smiling like royalty while my daughter's feast sat untouched in our kitchen. She didn't scream. She didn't throw the cake. She just stopped. Like someone had pressed pause on her body. And then in the quietest voice she said, "Should we throw it all out?" No, I thought. Not this time, because here's the thing. Pain is one thing. But humiliation? That's gasoline. And they had just poured it all over us. So I lit the match. I called everyone. Neighbors. Old friends. A woman I'd met once at a bake sale. My daughter cooked for 23 people. They abandoned her. "If you're hungry, come eat." It wasn't an invitation. It was a summons. And they came. One by one, two by two. People carrying wine bottles, tulips, kids in tow. By the time my husband got home, our driveway looked like a block party. We shoved tables together, reheated dishes, and set the feast. Lila was horrified. "Mom, what are you doing?" "I'm salvaging your dignity. Now help me with the chairs." She froze, then whispered, "This isn't pity?" "No," I told her. "This is defiance." And it was. Because by the time the first plates hit the table, the air was buzzing. People murmured over her food, closed their eyes after the first bite. Someone clapped after the main course. By dessert, they stood and toasted her. My daughter. 17. The girl they had called dramatic and unsafe. She got a standing ovation in our dining room. And then, because the universe loves drama, someone had invited a journalist. She photographed the dishes, scribbled notes, whispered to me, "She's better than professionals I've reviewed." That night an article went live. The birthday that wasn't. How a teen chef cooked for 23, was abandoned, and ended up hosting the dinner of the year. By morning, the internet had chosen sides. And my parents? Oh, they showed up. Of course they did. They stormed our porch at 2 a.m., furious, demanding I fix the damage to their reputation. My father barked about his golf group ignoring him. My mother hissed about being made into monsters. My sister told me to claim the article was exaggerated. And then my mother turned to my daughter, my Lila, and said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." I don't remember moving. One moment I was in the doorway. The next, I was standing between them and her, teeth bared. My husband walked in seconds later, calm as a storm. "Out," he said. And they left. Of course, the neighbor live-streamed it. Of course, the internet devoured it. And of course, my parents screamed about elder abuse before I blocked them forever. But here's the twist no one saw coming. That night didn't end my daughter's dream. It launched it. Chefs reached out. Culinary schools noticed her. Within a year, she was accepted into the very program she used to whisper about. She has clients now, a growing blog, followers who see her. She's steadier, stronger. And my parents? They moved away. Quietly. Too many invitations stopped arriving. Too many friends suddenly had plans. So no, I never got an apology. I never got my money back for the restaurant they put on my card. But I got something better. Clarity. Freedom. A daughter who knows her worth. That's the story of how my child's first heartbreak became her first headline. How a ruined birthday became a revolution. And how I stopped protecting people who never protected us. Now I'll ask you, the same way I've asked myself 100 times. Did I go too far? Or did I finally go just far enough? Tell me in the comments. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe. Because trust me, I have more.